Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
J.D. Vance's cousin and brutal takedown of Donald Trump and U.S. VP. Useful idiots. J.D. Vance's first cousin, a former U.S. Marine who fought for Ukraine for more than 2 years since Russia's invasion in 2022, has branded both the U.S. Vice President and his boss, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin's, useful idiots in a scathing attack. Nate Vance, a former U.S. Marine, spent 2.5 years on the front lines in Ukraine after joining the country's armed forces in 2022. He has now hit out at his cousin for undermining Ukraine's fight for survival after Mr. Trump's decision to freeze military aid as he pushes for a peace deal. Nate Vance's comments come after a tense Oval Office exchange earlier this month between both his cousin and Mr. Trump on one hand, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on the other. During the meeting, Mr. Vance urged Mr. Zelensky to engage in diplomacy with Russia rather than continuing to fight. Read more, Nick Ferrari. Donald Trump is very unpredictable, but he's better than J.D. Vance. Mr. Zelensky shot back. What kind of diplomacy, J.D., you are speaking about? Highlighting Moscow's repeated violations of agreements. The visibly angry vice president then asked Mr. Zelensky if he had ever thanked the U.S. for the military aid provided, while Mr. Trump accused the Ukrainian leader of gambling with World War III. Nate Vance accused his cousin of ambushing the Ukrainian leader and expressed his disgust with his stance. He told French newspaper Le Figaro, "JD's policy is music to the ears of authoritarians everywhere. Ukraine is fighting for its existence, and the U.S. pulling back now would be a gift to Putin. Donald Trump and my cousin clearly believe they can placate Vladimir Putin. They are wrong. The Russians are not about to forget our support for Ukraine." Nate Vance, who has accused his cousin and Mr. Trump of a betrayal of democratic values, added, "We are Vladimir Putin's useful idiots. When he criticized aid to Ukraine, I told myself that it was because he had to please a certain electorate, that it was the game of politics. Don't miss, Trump explodes Ukraine, may not survive, Russian invasion after latest move insight, Mark Carney declares economic war on America, vows Canada will never be 51st. Analysis, Russia burns as Ukraine unleashes huge drone blitz across major sites pictures. But what they did to Zelensky was an ambush of absolute bad faith. I was disappointed. When JD justifies his distrust of Zelensky by the reports he has seen, I thought I was going to choke. His own cousin was on the front lines. I could have told him the truth without pretense, without personal interest. He never tried to find out more. Since taking office, Mr. Vance has positioned himself as a key player in the Trump camp. He opposes further U.S. aid to Ukraine and declares that America has more pressing problems at home, a view Mr. Zelensky and his allies fiercely reject. Mr. Trump has launched more verbal barbs at Mr. Zelensky in recent days, labeling him ungrateful for accepting U.S. financial aid, like candy from a baby. The White House is believed to be pushing Ukraine to cede territory currently under Russian control as part of a potential peace deal. Mr. Trump has called for global nuclear disarmament and is considering new sanctions on Russia if a resolution is not achieved promptly. In response, Mr. Zelensky expressed readiness to negotiate peace, outlining his vision, which includes missile bans and the release of prisoners of war. European leaders continue to rally in support of Ukraine, engaging in high-level meetings and offering financial assistance.